pose as a surprise. They don't know what race is one skin scarred after many miles. I was there for all of them. She moves with a clunk and a sputter while I see how quick we leave this town. Stereo blasts as we fly, except when the speaker's out. Look down on me. We got 15 glasses empty, and now we're miles and miles and miles away, because together we have caught lightning. Ain't that enough? Ain't that enough? Ain't that enough? Within you are these memories prized. List them off one by one, a bag of earthly novels entwined. A record of the things we've done. You followed me through 2 different lives, but now you're out into the sun. That fateful day in July, you died in an explosion. Look down on me. We got 15 glasses empty, and now we're miles and miles and miles away. And you know together we caught lightning. Ain't that enough? Ain't that enough? Ain't that enough? I made you my favorite excuse. If only my favorite words to abuse. But you'd give me just enough hope I'd eat it till I choke. Eyes blurry and vision askew. I need fire to give focus through the night. In its absence, indifference wildly searches blind. But now the closer I move, the flames reach out to consume, until our senses have become nothing but suit.
Still not a 100% well-oiled machine, but we're getting there.
We're getting there. It'll take some time, but we're getting there.
Yeah. You're so creepy. Welcome, everyone, to episode 373 of Clinically Inane. 373 episodes. Boyd is so much bigger today.
We are a nerdy podcast based out of Seattle, Washington.
Yep.
I guess we're a Twitch stream now, aren't we?
What
are we?
We're both. It's both.
We're a Twitchy podcast based
Yeah.
out of Seattle.
Yeah. And my name's Curtis. That's Boyd. And today, eventually, we'll get around to reviewing some movies, talking about It and Ready or Not. But first things first, I wanted to let everyone know that Boyd and I are both suffering from some mild upper respiratory tract infection,
Which makes it sound like this.
yeah, and also makes us cough a lot. So we're gonna try our best not to cough into the microphone.
However, we are going to sound like this.
Like that right there. I tried my best not to cough into the microphone. Just because change, it's
Baritone.
we're getting to the end of summer and there's like heavy changes in the weather, and of
it
course
just hits, yeah.
yeah.
Click on things.
I had to approve some. So I had to wow, our
Are we up to 5?
no.
We're
Our
up to 3?
Our little in chat moderation
Yeah.
apparently thinks making out is a something that needs to be moderated. Like, I have it set to basically be like I permitted the term making out. I did not permit the term. I do not permit like mean things but I guess I guess we have to set a baseline.
It's really not. I mean, there should be words certain because it's not fair for us to be able to say fuck, but then not to be able to type fuck. Everyone should be able to fuck.
Yeah, everyone should be able to fuck. But I mostly turned that stuff on because I wanted it to not allow stuff like racial slurs or homophobic things or actual bad things. Yep, that one got held. Good job, Matt. I bet you're so proud of yourself. At a
He's
certain
gonna
point,
sit here for the next hour and just spam us.
at a
with-
certain point, I'm just gonna leave them and just not do anything with it anymore. Like, we're just gonna not do anything. That'll just be a pile of, do you want to allow this message in the chat stream? Although you got to admit, since I upgraded the computer,
this whole like thing with the text there is nice.
Isn't it? It's so much better. Like, you can see the chat stream too.
Just about.
Yeah.
Like, I have to work to read it, but
yeah, I'm pretty pleased.
if we get you a bigger monitor, we could both read it easily.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna get a curved monitor, so
So
it's- so you absolutely can't read
Unless
it.
you stick on the other side, then I'll be able to read it easily.
Yeah.
I know
yeah.
they make concave monitors. They make convex.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. Do they make convex monitors?
That'd be like the worst choice for.
It's just like sitting at the computer, just like,
Like your games look worse. Your graphics are stretched if you're trying to do graphic design.
yeah. It's just and then like if you're doing like processing, you have to like move around the computer and back.
Yeah.
The only thing that can make that better is if they warped the sound of the like built-in speakers in it.
So since your location, you move to one side, like the sound like shifts away from you.
Yeah, you get a Doppler effect on the computer. VR, yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Have you ever watched VR on a regular screen?
It's weird.
It is.
Yeah. I probably should get a new monitor. This monitor is okay. It's done the trick.
Yeah.
It's one that was given to me by by my old Works IT guy because they were clearing out old monitors, so I took it.
We know a wonderful tech recycler who can get you a much bigger monitor for rather cheap.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You could probably even clip the camera to the monitor instead of my little light bin.
Yeah, or I could probably I'm hesitant to make any big changes because, as we've discussed before, our roommate Ashley is moving out.
True, so all this moves.
So at
So why
some
not
point,
buy the monitor when you move the rooms?
yeah, so we will be moving rooms that this is in.
This will become my office.
This will become your office, yes, at some point.
I thought a lot about it, and between this space and Ashley's bedroom, which becomes office and which becomes bedroom,
Yeah,
and there were two factors that finally came into play.
yeah,
That way, my bedroom is not on top of yours,
yes,
and also that has a better closet.
yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That makes a difference.
Also, I've realized it gets less noise
Then
in this room,
yeah,
but her room still gets more noise than my current room.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm kind of like waiting to. That's why I haven't like cleaned out the old computer stuff. I'm still transferring stuff from the old computer to this one too.
Yeah.
But because there's a lot of information.
Yep.
And it takes a while. Although now that I think about it, the smart move would be to just plug in the Cat 6 cable and the Ethernet cable, and then just transfer everything that way. The Mac to PC transfer.
Yeah.
But
Well, I have a sled. You could pull the hard drive from the Mini and just throw it on the sled too.
no, I can't.
Why not?
Mac OS Journal can't be read by the PC.
There is third-party software that let it read it.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with it. I don't feel like dealing with it. I will just transfer things over slowly.
I say I could also I have a Mac. I could clone it all to a normal drive for you.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. But it's moving slowly and getting there. But so yeah, that's why I haven't really made any huge changes, because knowing that this is going to move soon.
We could also just set the Mini as basically a file server type system in the house where you can just access the files from any other computer.
I mean, yeah, it's possible. Or we could not.
All right.
Just do nothing with it.
It's literally like a 30-second change.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about it.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay.
It's very low on my priority list, if that makes sense.
I know, and I've already measured this room out to figure out how both my desks fit in here.
Yeah, and the table that I built downstairs that's kind of sitting in our living room downstairs,
Yeah.
that's going to become my desk.
Well, my desk has been in storage for 2 years too.
Yeah. Because it's fucking huge.
3 foot by 6 foot.
Yeah, it's huge.
How big is your table?
5 foot by 2.5 feet.
Close enough.
Yours is also way heavy.
It is. So my desk is 3 foot by 6 foot. My workbench is 3 foot by 6 foot. So
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot.
I have 36 square feet of working space.
Yeah, it's terrifying. But anyway, that's why things haven't changed too much. Just because when I have the ability to set stuff up and actually like
Do it properly.
do
Might as well do it properly.
Yeah, exactly. As opposed to kind of the changeover situation that we have right now.
Ooh, plus the little desk for the 3 printers is about 4 square feet. So I got like 40 square feet of workspace.
Sure.
I have more workspace than some people have bedrooms.
Some people are. That's yeah.
I mean, not in this house, but
Yeah.
well, I knew a girl who was living in the old coal room in a house. So,
The old coal room, really?
like an 1890s house where they had a room where they had kept the coal, and she was subletting that room.
My grandparents have a room like that. It's full of spiders.
Yeah, she was living in that.
Yeah.
There was also someone living in a crawl space. There was someone living, like 4 people living in the dining room.
Oh, it was one of those punk
It was
houses.
a punk house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We had a conversation about that recently. Fuck punk housing.
she was actually missing living. She was missing living out of her van while she was in that house.
Yeah, I can see that. That kind of like we had another friend who was living kind of in like a kitchen living room
Yeah,
for a little while, and he's a guy who went on a full on trip in a like van for
yeah,
with his now wife for like a year.
Yeah.
And he lived there for like 6 weeks and was like, fuck this.
yeah,
Mostly because he couldn't he had no privacy. Number one, which, if you're a super social person, even if you're a super social person, like having no privacy gets old real quick.
yeah.
And then on top of that, he had some things stolen. And as soon as that happened, he was not about it anymore.
I just realized the next level of these punk houses.
What's that?
You don't have to necessarily even rent out space to the people.
Yeah.
You rent them essentially a mailbox. So 'cause she was living in the house because she was in the middle of a custody thing.
Yeah.
But all she really needed for that was a mailing address.
That already happens. It's
Yeah.
happened for years and years and years
Yeah.
and years. It's very common practice in New York City
Yeah.
because actors who want to go to Broadway, it's easier for them to say they have a New York address, so they'll more likely get hired.
There's companies who do that for tech here. Yeah.
Excuse me. See, there's the coughs.
So the recruiters, well, the recruiter's home address will essentially be the recruiting office they're working with,
Yeah. Yeah.
or the recruitee, the talent.
Yes. Yeah. In New York, they'll rent out. Essentially, it'll be a PO box
Yeah.
because pretty much everyone in New York has a PO box.
Yep.
'Cause at some point. So by having a PO box in New York City, like they're highly sought after, because if you get one, that means you technically have a New York mailing address, and you just don't send anything to it, but you can list your address for Broadway shows as New York for your mailing address. And even if you live like in Jersey or something
I mean,
like that.
when I was moving more in Seattle, I was considering getting a PO box
Yeah.
just because then I'd have to deal with updating my address,
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But
like
it
no
was,
forwarding mail, no nothing. It just goes to the same spot, even if I move to a new neighborhood.
yeah, I understand that. They they do it in New York purely just to,
Yeah.
it's a vision, it's a thing to show like, hey, we have a job.
Your keyboard just fell over, so your camera just shook.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. I have that keyboard hooked up to the Mac Mini so I can keep it awake.
So you've got this new big fancy keyboard.
Yeah.
I wonder if yours is going to have the same problem as mine's been having.
What's that?
Because the amount of computer stuff that is required to control the lights,
Yeah.
it doesn't work with BIOS.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
You haven't tried it in BIOS yet.
haven't tried it in BIOS. No.
I
But
also have extra keyboards lying around, which helps.
yeah. Well, is your keyboard controlled by the computer or by the keyboard?
Mine, as far as I can tell, it just does white.
Like, but for its for its light settings, is it controlled by the keyboard or
It's
by?
not controlled by the keyboard.
Okay, mine's controlled by the keyboard.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
See what
we'll see.
If you ever need a BIOS.
Yeah,
But again, we have extra keyboards around.
yeah,
so.
I literally have one right there.
Yeah.
But we're just slowly upgrading a little bit. This one's also clickety clackety.
Which is fun.
Yeah,
I've also realized I type my fastest key response is the little like chiclet style ones.
Yeah,
Like I like those actually for gaming, which most people don't.
yeah,
Because I can get really fast
yeah.
key response.
Yeah,
I type more accurately on a big clicky clacky.
yeah, I do too.
And the more clicky clacky, the more accurately I seem to type.
Yeah, I have the same thing for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like the tactile
Yeah.
version of it better. The little chiclet ones, I tend to, excuse me, I tend to hit the wrong. I tend to hit the wrong one a lot.
I like them when I'm gaming where I need speed. Because I can just.
I can do that just as fast on these. It doesn't matter for me.
Oh, I've noticed. I have a slightly better speed rating.
Oh yeah. Well, and I play so many PC games.
I do. So
Yeah.
and some even require speed.
Yeah.
You play some PC games.
Yeah, Civ.
Yeah.
Played the shit out of Civ. I haven't ran it on this computer yet. I'm curious to see.
I mean, you can always resurrect StarCraft too.
Yeah.
Diablo.
Yeah.
I still like Diablo better on a PC than a console.
Yeah, it is better. But yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see. I tend to play those games. I tend to play those games and play through the story mode, and a lot of people are like, and then you have to do this, and then you have to do this, and I'm like, I beat the story, I'm done.
Yeah. Wait, does that work with Civ?
No, but like Diablo and StarCraft,
Yeah.
where people are like, let's get online and play, or now you play it again, but go for like the loot drops, and you're getting it super high, like making it insane level, and it's like, I don't want to do that. I just want to play the game.
Yeah, because later Diablos have like a plus version where you start the game again at your full level, basically.
Yeah, yeah. And I just don't like want to deal with that shit. It seems like a pain in the ass. But yeah, that's okay. I'll figure. I'm curious to see how some of this stuff goes on here. But anyway, speaking of games,
Yes,
I saw Ready or Not this week.
you did.
I did.
That's about hide and go seek.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hide and seek.
technically.
Technically, it's about it's a survival horror thriller about a girl who marries into this super rich family, and part of their and they're game makers. That's kind of where it came from.
Okay.
Like they make games, and they have to and so part of it is that they have to she has to play a game with them that night.
Yep.
In order to be accepted into the family and join the fold.
Yeah.
And it could be anything. It could be checkers.
It's like a random deck of cards, right?
It's what actually it is there's a box that they put a blank card into it, and that decides what gets pulled.
Okay.
And if hide and seek gets pulled, it's the one card that if hide and seek gets pulled, the person has to hide, and then the rest of the house tries to kill them.
So it's the only deadly one.
It is the only
Okay.
deadly one.
I was really wondering how you make Parcheesi deadly.
Yeah. And the thing is like, do I have to win? Like when she's talking to her husband about it, like, do I have to win the game? Kind of, he's like, before they know what card's being pulled. And he's like, no, like you just have to play. It's part of the thing. And, yeah. And hide and seek is the only deadly one.
Huh.
And there's a lot more behind it, but I don't want to spoil that.
Now I'm curious. It might be spoilery, but do we know that is there only one copy of hide and seek in this deck?
It's a blank card. A blank card gets put into a machine. The machine gets activated and spits out on that blank card
A game.
a game.
Okay. I was thinking. So
You were thinking like it was a deck of cards and it gets put into a machine, shuffled, and whatever gets spit out.
no, I was picturing like a stack of cards.
Ah.
You bury the blank card, and that's your cut point, and whatever it cuts at is the game.
Oh, no. The blank card goes into the machine,
And the machine prints a game.
prints a game on it.
Now I'm curious if it was fiddle with the machine.
There's some more to it.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
Spoilers, sweetie.
Yeah. But it's pretty great actually. I really, really enjoyed it. It has a good mix of funny and like
And horror.
and horror. It's not horror in the I always struggle to call stuff like this horror. It's more thriller,
Yeah.
but falls under the horror genre because they're trying to murder her.
Yeah. See, the movies horror movies that fall more into thriller, my brain doesn't always think of them as horror.
Yeah, that's kind of like, yeah. But it's still a survival
Yeah.
thing. It's survival thriller. I wouldn't call it survival horror.
Okay.
It's
See, I think for my brain, I need humor. Like for horror, I almost need a certain supernatural element or more of the mystery or
yeah,
something
there
like
might be a little bit of horror then to it.
that.
Yeah, but it's still it's a survival movie
Okay.
first and foremost. You can argue about whatever other genre it would fall under.
For me, there's a level of an anxious tension that goes along with a horror movie.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah, Yeah, and, I mean, and you get that with this.
Okay.
Like, they do a really good job of building up. And she is, what is, like, it's interesting because they always call, like, the character trope, the last girl.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing in horror movies. It's the last girl. It's the girl who survives and usually defeats the bad guy. Mm-hmm. It really came into prominence with Scream, but which is interesting because Scream is a satire.
But look, Halloween.
Yeah, Laurie Strode was the first last girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm thinking back to like 50s and 60s horror movies. You usually had a couple survive,
yeah, and
that was more the hero and the damsel.
yeah. And then the last girl became a thing.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to call her the last girl in this because she was the only,
That's technically.
but the actress is Samara Weaving. She's an Australian actress.
All right.
You might recognize her last name.
In relation to Hugo?
She is Hugo's niece.
Interesting.
Yes, Hugo Weaving's niece. Apparently, her dad is Hugo's brother is a writer. But-
Okay, so in the family.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, like direct, like Hugo's brother's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm also thinking like it's more than just Hugo in the family who's in movies.
No, her father is a book writer.
Ah.
Yes.
Is this movie based on a book?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not. But she's great. Samara Weaving is great.
So I'm just picturing like, just imagine your dad had written a book like this. And he looks at you and goes, I really pictured you for this role.
What are you trying to say? No, I really enjoyed it a lot. I really hope that people are actually. I know it didn't get a lot of people going out to see it, but I feel like it's going to be one that people that like somebody sees and then they tell their friends they need to see it, and then they tell their friends they need to see it.
Like you're doing?
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit more under the radar. You got people like you have Samara Weaving in it, but like Adam Brody is in it, which most people remember him from. Well, most people our age will remember him from The OC.
I never saw the OC.
Yeah, well,
I never saw
a lot of people will remember him from Thank You for Smoking. Maybe
So I realized saying I never saw the OC sounds very hipster.
it's not. It was very like rich white kids have problems. Definitely not hipster.
No, like saying I haven't seen it.
Oh, saying you haven't seen it?
Yeah.
I mean, it just means that you weren't paying attention to shitty nighttime soap operas on Fox in the early 2000s.
No.
Yeah, that's okay.
Most of my shitty soap operas about that time period, I think, were on TNT.
TNT, yeah. So like Burn Notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that whole universe.
Yeah. But was it Burn Notice, Blue Collar?
Burn Notice.
Blue Collar was USA. Those were both USA.
Oh, they were both USA and Royal Pains.
Royal Pains.
They technically have little crossover bits. Yeah.
Okay. But what are you looking up?
See, The Pianist is the one I think of with him.
No, that's Adrian Brody.
Oh, wait. Who'd you say?
Adam Brody.
Oh, wrong Brody.
Yeah.
That's why I've been so confused.
Very, very, very different person. Very different person.
Okay.
Are you looking him up?
Yeah, I have to now.
Yeah, he steals every scene he's in. He's great in it. He legitimately is. Have you found him yet?
Yeah, he's in Mr. and Mrs. Smith also.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Do you recognize him?
Well, he's superhero Freddy also from Shazam.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's the superhero version of Freddy in Shazam.
Yeah.
I forgot that he was in that because he's only in like the last bit of it.
Yep. Never saw Chips.
All right, you can put it down now.
Yoga hosers. He's Ichabod.
Ichabod.
I
Jesus Christ, boy.
know. He's Itchy Body and
Itchy Body, Yoga Hosers. I only saw Yoga Hosers once.
He's Ichabrody.
Ichabod. But he had a small role in that too.
Yeah.
But no, he's great. He steals every scene he's in. He's really good in it.
And obviously handsome enough to be one of the superhero versions from Shazam.
Obviously. And then The other person that I recognized from it was Melanie Scrofano, which sci-fi fans will know her as Winona Earp, which is
Yeah.
where you primarily knew her from originally.
Originally.
And then comedy fans will know her as Mrs. McMurray.
I think I'm wondering what show I've seen her more in now.
I've seen Letterkenny more than Winona Earp.
It really comes down to which series has more of her in it.
You don't need to look that up.
I'm also thinking it's probably as Winona Earp. Because she's not. She's periodically in.
Yeah, even well,
And
I've seen one season of Winona Earp, which was like 12 episodes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a wash for me.
Yeah. So. Because there's not a lot of episodes where she's featured in the whole episode.
Yeah.
Her husband definitely has more screen time
Mr.
than
Mr. McMurray.
Yep.
Just get a cocksucking G&T.
How you know?
Hi. That fucking show has broken me. Hi, how are you now? People come up to me and go, "Hey, how's it going?" It's like, "Oh, not so bad." And you hear myself say it.
Yeah, it's not too. I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah. We also go, "To be fair."
To be fair.
To be fair.
Even Ashley's doing that one now.
Yeah. I know so many people. I can tell somebody watches Letterkenny because somebody will go, "To be fair," and somebody else will go, "To be fair." I'll just hear them off to the side. Yeah, she's in it and she plays one of the family, and she doesn't know how to use her weapons. It's pretty great.
Which, I mean, that goes back to her original role in Winona Earp too.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to use the gun. Yeah. Yeah. She really doesn't know how to use the weapons in this one, though. It's pretty great. And the guy who plays her husband in it is the guy who is Donnie in Orphan Black.
Okay, well, I think you see her kill one of the maids in one of the trailers.
In one of the trailers, yeah.
Well, this is the crossbow one, right?
Yeah.
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 And someone yells at her for killing the maid.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty funny. They that's, I will say, it is in the trailer, and it's a running joke throughout throughout the movie is that the maids keep getting killed.
They kill two of them in just the trailer.
Yeah. And there's more than two. But yeah, overall, really, really fun movie. Like, genuinely a fun movie. Like, the director did a really good job of making it feel, the directors, I think there's two,
Okay.
made it feel like an actual game. Like, I could see it being like a tabletop game.
Okay.
Like the whole premise of it.
I'm glad you went tabletop with that. I thought you were going to just go like, be an actual game.
Oh, no, God, no.
Curtis, down boy.
It is the most dangerous game. But no, not like that. Tabletop. Like,
Yeah.
it felt like it could be like a cousin to, like,
Last Night on Earth.
More Betrayal at House on the Hill.
That works too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more, or like there's some survival horror games, like there's one that's based on The Thing that I've played before.
Well, I mean, I've ended up playing Last Night on Earth where as zombies.
Yeah,
Where it kind of reached the same point of that game.
yeah,
Where you have a bunch of creatures hunting down one person.
yeah, totally. Well, I mean, that's the entire concept of the Jaws game. It's for up to 4 people to play.
Yeah.
And it's 3 of the people are playing the Quint, Brody, and I'm forgetting the third dude's name, who go out to hunt the shark, and the 4th person's playing the shark.
Okay.
Just kind of flip it, and you could have
Kind of the reverse of, is it Halloween or Friday the 13th that has a game?
see, what's it? Sounds better than this weird movie that just got pulled by Universal.
Oh, The Hunt.
Yeah. We talked about that off mic.
Yeah.
We talked about The Hunt because I'd seen a trailer for it before Crawl, and
thought it was weird.
thought it was weird, and then you saw another thing like about Trump being upset by it.
Yeah. It's the guy who wrote it is the guy behind Homestar Runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know, like the way that the thing that you originally, so the trailer that I saw, I dropped my phone. The trailer that I saw for it made it look like some weird like alt-right fantasy type thing, where it's the good old boys being hunted by the globalists, which if those aren't aware, globalist is a internet term that has basically become anti-Semitic. It means Jew. So whenever you see somebody talking about the globalists are taking over, what they really mean is
The Zionistic globalists.
Zionistic globalists. Well, they mean Jewish people.
Yeah, New World Order.
Yeah, it's a new way of saying Jews. And they, they're hunting the red state folks.
Yeah.
And it's the red state folks fighting back. And I saw the first trailer and I was like, this doesn't feel good. It seems weird. I don't like it. And then you read an article about it. It's like, no, it's supposed to be a satire. And I was like, okay, like maybe that first trailer just doesn't do any justice to it. Because I showed you the trailer afterward and you were like, oh man.
I think there's a second trailer. There was a second trailer, but having seen the trailer and the write-ups and everything, it ends up feeling like...
And then we got back to, and then there was after it got pulled, there was an interview with the director, who had some quotes about it, and what it feels like in the end was both sides have some problems type movie.
It felt like someone who's on the extreme right end version of it, trying to write like they're on the extreme left.
Yes.
To anger the right.
The Reliant AV Club called it Kevin Sorbo fighting Antifa. No, God, I've not heard about that. I don't pay attention to Kevin Sorbo because he's a piece of shit. The Reliant. Yeah. But Kevin Sorbo is an absolute piece of shit, so I haven't heard nothing about it.
Wait, I want to know. I'm trying to figure out his German autocorrect.
Oh, it was BEI, by.
Oh. I mean, God, just take out the shortened name versions in that and describe that movie again.
And in which one? The Reliant?
The Reliant.
Kevin Sorbo fighting Antifa.
No, take away the shortened name versions.
What?
Kevin Sorbo fighting anti-fascists.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how do you defend that?
Yeah, you really can't. It's like, it's bad. It's like, I don't know. I enjoy it. Let's put it this way.
He's come a long ways from Hercules.
Yeah. He's such a piece of shit. Fuck that guy.
God, he's come a long ways from even the sequels to Walking Tall.
I was just thinking that the straight-to-video sequels to Walking Tall.
I think that's the last thing I legitimately saw him in.
The last thing that I legitimately saw him in was in real life, Psych. He was in an episode of Psych.
I guess I've seen that too.
In not real life, he was the voice of Hercules in God of War 3.
Okay. I mean, I think back to Hercules, Andromeda.
Yeah.
I guess, he was in an episode of Psych. And then the Walking Tall sequel.
Yeah.
Which, that's where it's also getting rough.
Yeah.
You're starting to see more of the politics come out even in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a different time period and things were less shit.
Yeah. I'm just dropping shit today.
You are.
Just felt like dropping things. I just was wanting to play with the thing.
My failed print.
Yeah, his failed print. I just wanted to play with it.
One of the machines had problems. It was cutting off prints halfway through.
Yep. But yeah, overall, I really, really, really enjoyed.
You recommended Above the Hunt and Reliant.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll never see The Hunt. We might never see The Hunt.
Yeah.
But I really, really enjoyed Ready or Not. Like, it's fun. It's funny. It's fun. It's funny. It's like, it's scary. It's not, I wouldn't say scary. It's exciting.
Thrilling?
Thrilling.
I mean, it's a thriller, so why not be thrilling?
Yeah. The payoff is really good. I really enjoyed it. I was about to be upset if they didn't, like, I was preparing for them to not follow through on it.
Yeah.
And, like, I was going to get upset by it. And they
followed through.
And it was so nice. Like, I was so pleased. And also, killer cosplay, like, for the main character.
Nice.
Like, a killer cosplay possibility. Like, the bride in the blood-soaked wedding dress.
Yeah.
That's ripped off, and she's wearing Chucks.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid option.
We saw another thrill this week with a surprisingly empty theater.
Yeah, yeah. We went and saw It Chapter 2 last night.
And like a third of the theater was there.
Yeah, I mean, we went to a relatively early showing
Yeah, of a rated R horror movie.
of a rated R horror movie. Like, we went to 6:30. Most people are probably going to the 7. Like, I bet if we would have gone to the 7:30 show, it would have been more full. Which has happened before. Like,
yeah, but that's usually been matinees.
well, it's also happened before where we've gone and seen like a 5 o'clock version of a big release and half the theater's full.
And then it's the biggest movie of the weekend.
And then it's the biggest movie of the weekend. And it's just because of the time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, what did you think of It Chapter 2?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about did you really enjoy in particular?
I mean, obviously the characters are very well cast for the adult versions of the
Yeah,
kids.
the adult versions of the kids are perfectly
Yeah.
cast. Like, Jesus Christ.
I appreciate it gets more into the mythos of Pennywise.
The world building?
Yeah, the world building's a big thing for me.
Yeah, no.
It's part of the reason why I like RPG games so much.
It's why I recommended Carnival Row to you.
Yeah.
Because it's all world building.
Which is deep down what I like.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it also deals more with the mythos of the kids individually.
Yeah.
The town. Yeah, there's a lot of world building, well acted.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I have a very specific reason as to why. The fact that they kept cutting back and forth to when they were kids to being adults to like. So a lot of the stuff that they cut out where it was stuff that did happen in the first half of the book.
Yeah.
And they decided to keep it and have it be part of
Flashbacks. Yeah.
I would have rather seen it in the first movie.
That's fair.
But I feel like it relied very heavily on flashbacks.
I mean, part of keeping this... I mean, part of where I see keep putting in the second half is it requires less memory on the part of the cast.
yeah, I mean, you can still do... But you can do quick flashbacks.
Yeah.
Like, that movie was long. It was 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
Like... and I feel like if you would have had those scenes be in the first movie, that you could have done quick flashbacks to remind us of them.
Yeah.
And then you would have, and then it would have had a greater impact, and it would have cut the running time by about 20 minutes.
I mean, I appreciate... I would do maybe half of them. There's two types of flashbacks.
Yeah. There's the ones...
There's type A where it's the kids dealing with life and each other.
Yeah.
And there's the other type where it's them dealing with Pennywise.
Yes.
And I'd say maybe move the life ones to the first one and keep Pennywise more in the second.
Other way around.
Other way around?
Yeah, I would have rather seen Pennywise terrorizing them more in the first one. And had the ones where, like... Because there's some flashbacks that are post-Pennywise.
Yeah.
In the movie. Those I'm okay with. Those are good.
Yeah.
I like those ones. But
Well, and I guess, yeah, if we're going through your logic of putting... Because as I think about it more, it's the dealing with life ones where they are gathering what they need.
yeah.
And it's the Pennywise torturing ones that they don't need quite as much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know.
Because, yeah, it's the...
Digital de-aging of the kids noticeable, or is that just a rumor? It's not noticeable. I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell.
The kids were digitally de-aged.
But only a year or two.
2 years. Yeah.
2 years.
But
So-
like look at how much Finn Wolfhard changed from the
Yeah.
fucking first movie to Stranger Things.
I mean, none of them have really... not Cedric Diggory. What the hell's his name from Harry Potter?
Daniel Radcliffe.
No. The other character in the prophecy.
Oh, Neville Longbottom.
No, none of them have Noah Longbottomed.
Yeah,
I think
where they
that
went
helps.
from being a funny-looking kid to a super attractive adult. Yeah,
Like if Bill had lost all of his baby fat,
if the kid who had played Ben,
or Ben, yeah,
the kid who played Ben had lost all of his baby fat.
Yeah.
Well, he may have lost some.
yeah,
but-
but
but 2 years is a lot when you're a teenager.
I think it also helps that was all the stuff with the kids in this second one digitally de-aged stuff.
Most of it.
So it might also help that we're not seeing them back. Like we're not getting some where they're digitally de-aged and some where they're not.
Yeah, that's true.
That might help
That
too.
might help too. Yeah, it wasn't really noticeable to me.
I had honestly assumed they had filmed all that with part 1.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Like, not at all.
Okay.
Some of it they did, but like a good chunk of it they didn't.
Okay. Yeah, I had assumed they were planning to do both parts all from the beginning.
Yeah.
So they had filmed all of that with part 1 a couple years ago, and they just...
They were always intending on doing 2 parts, but the script for part 2 hadn't been finished yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so they didn't know.
That's fair.
But
No, and they didn't look digitally de-aged, and that, again, might come back to also not seeing both versions in the single movie.
yeah, it's true.
It might be more noticeable if you sat and watched one and then the other right after.
Maybe, yeah.
Or when someone releases a supercut that takes those flashback scenes and tacks them into the first one.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say, then the reviews are absolutely correct in this aspect. Bill Hader's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, in general, period. Bill Hader's amazing. I mean, that was... We all knew Bill Hader from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And we knew he was amazing in Saturday Night Live.
Yep.
He always was. He's a great impressionist, really funny, really talented, very great, great at improv, too. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And we always enjoyed him in, like, supporting roles and other things. But over, like, the last 2 years between Barry, which is amazing,
Yeah.
and It Chapter 2, like, it's really showing, like, God, Bill Hader is real fucking good at what he does.
He is.
He's real fucking good.
I mean, I think the entire main cast is really good.
Oh yeah, no, and they, like I said, they cast it perfectly.
Yeah.
Isaiah Mustafa gives 0 hints that he is the Old Spice guy,
Yeah.
which is good.
Like everything, body language, everything is so different.
Yeah,
It's wonderful.
He's an actor first.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I mean James McAvoy always gives a great performance. Jessica Chastain gives a great performance. It's good, like all across the board.
There's one character who's not in the trailers that I don't want to give away that was wonderful in it also.
Oh,
You know who I mean.
yeah, well, he's in the trailer briefly.
Is he?
Yes,
Yeah.
very briefly
Oh, I guess he is. There's a scene with, like, his first scene.
with the balloon.
Yeah.
yeah.
His character is fantastic in it, too.
Yeah. And again, for you, is it again for you the scarier side is the human
See,
element
he
side?
wasn't really, like, he wasn't nearly as frightening in this movie as he was in the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this one, he was very
Yeah.
brought back to size.
This,
I think a bit of that is because they'd grown up and they'd outgrown him.
yeah. And he didn't.
Yeah.
Like, there's even a comment about
Yeah.
him that,
Yeah.
you know, it's been 30 years, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, part of what I love about this movie is the world building. This movie felt less scary to me than the first one.
It is. It's 100% less scary.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I enjoy the first one more. I
That's
like
fair.
the scarier.
I mean, there's something interesting about that fact, though, too, is that everything that terrified them as children feels a little bit less scary as adults.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
think that's something that's true across the board.
Yeah.
But then there starts to be things that would scare them more as adults coming to fruition.
Like the old woman.
Yeah. Oh God.
And there is, like, they all still have their theme of fear.
Yeah.
Each of them does.
Yeah.
Even the old woman ties into that theme, too.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah. And it's interesting to see how those affect them, how they deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. Again, I think I have to give it to Bill Hader.
Yeah. I do find it interesting that if you pay attention to the characters who stayed in the town, who show up again,
Yeah.
none of them have really changed.
Yeah. It's true. It's very
Like, there's one other character who has a bit part, the bubblegum girl,
Yeah.
and still looks older, but very much the same.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. She looks exactly like the same person. Again, the casting and the costume
Yeah.
and everything that they did on this to make to show the two of them
Yep.
is very accurate, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's good. Like they did a good job of pulling that all together. As Matt said, just glad they took out the part from the book where the kid's having a gangbang because that. Yeah. Like that. There's a part in the book where Beverly sleeps with everyone in the group
Yeah.
when they're kids, because that makes them adults now.
There's an ongoing thing in this that also is a criticism that King's had in a lot of his books.
Yeah,
That the writer
ending
can't
sucks.
write a good ending.
Yeah, the ending sucks. Yeah, I did enjoy that. And the man himself makes an appearance in this.
He does.
In a not small role either.
It's a decent sized bit part.
Yeah,
And it's interesting which character he interacts with.
yeah. But they did a good job of, I think, showing them coming to terms with the things that they said, like the things that they had to deal with as kids, and coming to terms with that as an adult.
Because part of what they have to deal with isn't even not necessarily the trauma of Pennywise, but it's just the traumas they endured as kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you can see some of them, when we meet them again as adults, are suffering from those same problems.
I mean, all of them have an aspect of it in them, it feels like. Some are more visible than others, but
Well, like, Bev had some stuff that she went back to as she came back to as an adult, that she
yeah, that revisits her childhood in a lot of ways.
revisits her childhood in a big bad way. God, what's his name? Eddie. Eddie
Yeah,
is married to a woman who's exactly like his mom.
yeah.
Like it's he can't help himself.
I mean, yeah, Stanley, his past catches up to him.
Yeah. You'll know
Mike is still living in it.
Yeah. And Bill is very much a he actually is the one who's probably one of the more well-adjusted ones going out into the world,
Yeah,
but he's still always kind of looking for approval.
yeah.
And but it's interesting, once he gets back to Derry, he starts stuttering again. You notice in the first scene he's not stuttering.
Wait, Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the first scene when he's not in Derry, he's not stuttering.
Well, Ben's in a similar situation where he's more successful, well off, but he's absolutely looking for a community.
Yeah. Well,
Which
and
is what he's doing
and
with-
he's still alone
Yeah.
at the very beginning. He's
Yeah.
still alone. Like, he's got a meeting with he's very successful, and he's on a meeting, and he's on a phone meeting where he's sitting at his giant home alone by himself,
Yeah.
and is very much still looking for.
And in this phone meeting, he's talking about community and group and
Yeah.
family. And
Yes. Yeah. No,
And
they
it's-
still suffer from a lot of the stuff that they did as kids.
Yeah.
It's just,
I mean, Mike is still dealing with the past because that's where we pick up with him is,
yeah.
Yeah.
He remembers everything.
yeah.
And Richie is a hack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a hack, and he just can't, and he has to go out and do what he has to do. But
Well, and he uses that to deflect from himself.
yeah, to not pay attention to himself.
There's a Pennywise teasing about the game Truth or Dare.
Yeah,
And that reflects his character. And I'd say one of Mike's flashbacks might be one of the creepiest scenes in that movie.
which one?
The fire.
Oh, the fire. So yeah, that was something that I wish they would have explained a little bit more in the first movie, because I didn't get the context of why he saw people burning up in the first movie.
I did.
I didn't.
There's like a throwaway to
To his parents.
him having watched it.
Yeah, I would have rather have seen that in the first movie. Like, have been more
'Cause-
explicit.
This movie has a throwaway line about it, but which is an overheard line. But also, the first movie also deals with why there was a fire.
Yeah, yeah.
And the newspaper articles, there's a newspaper article that contradicts that. So
In a modernized version, adult Richie should be an internet troll. No.
no, I think
Well, if I remember in the book, becomes a radio DJ.
yeah,
Like a
and
shock jock. And in this, he's a stand-up comedian.
stand-up comedian MC type character, which makes sense for his character though. Also,
Yeah. Richie was never one to hide behind a keyboard. He was always which is what trolls do.
He was willing to stand right in front of it.
Yeah, he was willing to stand right out in front of everyone and say shitty stuff to their face.
Well, and it's shitty stuff his face, and one thing, he's willing to stand in front of everyone and act as he uses his humor to deflect, to move things along, to alleviate the, if he's dealing with tension in life, his humor is to avoid that.
Yes, yeah. And if you can do that by making people laugh or like him,
That's even better.
it's even better.
Yeah.
Because if they like him for being shitty, then he doesn't have to reveal the truth about him, like who he really is.
He doesn't have to be sincere.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And whereas, like, an internet troll would just sit behind the keyboard and
Yeah.
yeah.
The internet troll, the earlier internet troll version would have been him saying shitty things about the kids when the kids to the other kids when the kids aren't there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, I thought it was
I enjoyed it partially. Again, world building, the story.
Yeah, the world building is
well
good.
acted.
uh
I can understand your criticism of the flashback and stuff.
yeah,
but
I think it adds about 25 minutes to this movie that
could have been on the first one.
could have been in the first one.
But I think it's still necessary. Like I don't want to see.
Oh,
25
it's necessary for the story.
I don't wanna see
100%.
Like that's the thing is, there's nothing really to cut out that just drags through the story.
Yeah, there's what it could have done. What they could have done was they could have had those moments in the first one, and had the first one be a little bit longer, and then in this one you do the quick flashback, the quick cut.
The overall runtime of the two movies combined is appropriate.
Yes, yeah, that's true. I wonder if now that this is out, somebody is going to make that supercut, like when it comes out on like Blu-ray.
Yeah.
If somebody will make that supercut version, which moves flashbacks around a little bit.
Puts it in chronological order, as well as we can figure out.
Yeah, and then they,
Because we don't know the exact timeline of the various flashbacks.
That's true.
But you could do, because a lot of flashbacks happen in a certain time period, and you could follow each kid's storyline one at a time through that time period.
Yeah, like it's yeah. I mean, you could probably follow that pretty easily.
There is a quick flashback to a scene that actually happens in the first movie.
Yes.
That's the starting point of all these flashbacks.
Well, that's the thing is there's a lot of flashbacks in it that are just the scene from the first movie played out almost in full,
or a longer version, or
yeah, or like the extra like 2 minutes of it at the end that you didn't see in the first movie. And to me, that's lazy. I don't like that.
I mean,
I don't like seeing a scene that I've already seen. Like,
Yeah.
I understand like quick cuts. Like I don't need to see the same 3-minute scene again.
sometimes the extra 2 minutes is sometimes more interesting to pick up those extra 2 minutes
Yes.
later on.
I don't need to see the same scene.
Yeah.
Same scene over again.
Yeah.
That's the thing that happened. Like it was saw the same scene over again, and I don't need to. I think that's unnecessary, personally.
Because if some of those stuff, those two extra minutes, you throw them into the beginning, it ruins some of the stuff in the later.
Yeah,
It's kind of like the machete cut of Star Wars.
yeah.
You got to watch 4 and 5 before you really enjoy 2 and 3.
Yes, exactly.
And if you watch 2 and 3 before you watch 4 and 5, it ruins 5.
Yes. But yeah, there are some scenes where, like I said, just it showed me the same 3-minute scene I saw in the first movie.
Yeah,
I didn't need to see. I actually that took me out a little bit,
that's fair.
like because I thought it's lazy filmmaking.
There was one thing in there that really took me out. Whoever the hell was sitting behind his shoe was really loud with their mouth open.
Yeah, and then they left partway through the movie.
Which I enjoyed the movie after that more.
Yeah.
Because they were just sitting there. And it was the open mouth where it's done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was starting to wonder if they were just chewing on gum. Because
Yeah.
it was constant too.
I don't like I've never walked out of a movie, even a really, really bad one.
Yeah.
I understand doing it at a certain point though. The one that I debated walking out of, I decided not to because it was at Sundance and we got a Q&A with the director at the end and I wanted to see how the Q&A went.
What movie was it?
Ellie Parker.
Okay.
And it was, and I'm glad I stayed because I asked a question and watched the director just
Beautiful.
And then everyone just proceeded to tear him apart because the movie was fucking awful.
I've never walked out of a movie.
Yeah, but other than that, like I've never walked out of a movie. I do understand though. Some people some people can't handle certain things.
Yeah.
Like, if I saw something that was just so offensive that it was beyond reproach, then I might bail. But
Yeah. But I think a lot of that we end up knowing about beforehand, so we just don't go to the movie in general.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, a movie like this, if you're walking out because of fear, you should have known going into it.
Yeah, he should have known going into it.
Especially again, since this is a little bit less scary than the first one.
Yeah.
There is a wonderful scene though in the house with the kitchen and the fridge.
Oh yeah, yeah. But
Well, like Ashley, when we go to movies, depending on the movie, a lot of them, if you pay attention during trailers, she goes and hangs out by the door
yeah,
because she doesn't like horror, doesn't necessarily want to watch like some of the trailers get kind of gory and kind of.
yeah, yeah. I've noticed Ashley bails to go to the bathroom or go get something during trailers, and it's like,
I mean, I understand at
Yeah,
the same time though. It's not that.
yeah. I've given her shit about it.
It's a recognizing what you want to watch and don't at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah. But
And it also depends on the movie.
I have noticed like we've started going back basically because of where my job is, where your job is. We've started going back to the theater
Down south.
Down south. I have noticed it has been I might start being okay with going back downtown again,
Yeah.
simply because the people downtown are less rude.
Yeah, there's trade-offs on the two theaters.
Yeah, it's like it's a little bit more expensive to go downtown, but we don't have people checking their phones
Yeah.
or sitting behind you loudly chewing.
Yeah.
Or
Downtown has more comfortable chairs.
or yelling out and talking out during the movie. Less people people don't bring babies to the one downtown.
Yeah. I think this is parts where people just go to the mall and then decide to go to a movie. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Which we could always, I mean, there's two other theaters. We could also try the Landing or.
yeah. I mean that one's
Hasn't been remodeled though, has it?
no, it's about on the same level as the one downtown.
Yeah.
And well, that's the thing.
Well,
It's expensive.
downtown or
not downtown.
South Center.
It's the same. It's as expensive as the one downtown
Yeah.
with half the benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, part of the offset of the cost downtown, there was the park. You had to pay for parking.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was one other theater we could go to, which I don't like them all.
Yeah.
Kent Station.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I used to manage a store down there, and I did it for long enough that I hate the mall management so much that I don't want to go to that mall.
That's fair. Yeah. No, but I don't know. I
They
mean,
had
this is
some of
just
the
us being.
shittiest policies.
This is us just being picky because we've had to deal with some fucking shitty. Well, we've had to deal with some shitty theater patrons, and I bet if you go back and listen to our last couple episodes where we've been going down south again,
Yeah.
it's when we've been complaining about people like having their phones out during movies and talking during the movie and being fucking loud and obnoxious during the movie. And I didn't realize it until just this moment, but it's because we started going back down south again.
Yeah.
And like there's mall theaters, there's less decorum than if people are actually going to the movie theater.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to be like fucking snooty about it, but at the same time, I like watching movies and not having to deal with people.
I mean, one thing I
on
like
their
about down
phones.
south is people go wander to the mall and look at stuff before.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just don't. I don't like people talking during the movie or it's fucking on their phone. I kicked the back of somebody's seat when they were on their phone during something we saw down south
Yeah.
recently.
I mean, if you're willing to pay for the parking, I don't care what theater we go to. That's the biggest thing I like about South Center is I don't have to pay for parking.
Yeah. But it's the yeah, it's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But whatever. Anyway, to wrap things up, It Chapter 2, it's good.
If you like
I
it,
don't like it as much as the first one.
Yeah, it's a good closure to the first one though.
Yeah. It's not as good. I don't think it's as good a movie as
That's fair, but it's still a decent movie.
yeah. Yeah. And
Better than The Hunt.
and Ready or Not is really great. I highly recommend people check it out.
Yep.
It's really fun. And by the way, that one has a running time of 95 minutes.
Interesting.
So it's quick.
Which is how Game of Hide and Seek should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you get too long on hide and go seek, it just gets
Boring.
yeah, especially if you're the hider.
Yeah. Yeah.
At some point, you start to wonder if they did that. All right, let's go play hide and go seek. Go hide. All right, we're gonna go do other stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That being said, I think that's it for this week.
Is it?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Bye, kids.
Bye, kids.